Hi, I'm Marta Benavides. It's time for Socialife. Welcome to another edition of Socialife. COVID cases are climbing across the country. How is our community responding to the crisis? Coming up, we hear from a leading medical expert from UTRGV School of Medicine on how to best protect ourselves. Becoming a voice for young victims of abuse. We visit with our friends from CASA on ways you can help. And a role that helped raise the popularity of sushi. The experts at Kumori are going to show us how to make a California roll. Stay with us, more Socialife right after this.
In McAllen ISD, students are engaged in viable and enriching lessons thanks to a seamless transition to distance learning. We have the tools and know-how to maintain your child's education at a high level of rigor. Register today. Call 687-6473.
En McAllen ISD, los estudiantes participan en lecciones viables y enriquecedoras gracias a una transición perfecta al aprendizaje a distancia. Tenemos las herramientas y los conocimientos necesarios para mantener la educación de sus hijos con un alto nivel de rigor. Inscríbase hoy, llame al 687-6473.
It's really a very difficult time for many of us, and some of them are really struggling during this time. So it'd be great if you reach out to others that may need you. Maybe call your neighbors, your family, some people you haven't talked to. You know, do something beyond just what it has to do with you, you know, and be part of a community that is involved. And so I encourage you to reach out and help someone else. Thank you. Bye, Marta.
You are such a source of inspiration for us, Sister Norma. Thank you so much. Preparing for a pandemic, it isn't something that we imagined we would be going through, but we are, and communities across the country are reacting differently. But is community response key to keeping COVID cases from climbing? We wanted to ask an expert, and we would like to welcome Dr. Michael Dobbs. He is the CMO at UTRGV School of Medicine. Welcome, Dr. Dobbs. We're so thankful that you're visiting with us today. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Really an honor to be here.
Oh, well, we're so thankful. We appreciate your company. You know, we keep hearing about a surge in infections across the country. The hotspots right now, the states of Florida, Arizona, and our very own state of Texas. What do we need to be doing right now? How do we need to be reacting at this moment, Dr. Dobbs?
Okay. Well, the first thing, individuals should not panic. There's really no need to panic. You just need to make smart choices and take good care of yourself and your family and friends. Primarily, being close to someone, within a few feet of someone who has COVID-19 raises your chances of getting it. It's how you would get it, really. You can also wash your hands a lot, use hand sanitizer, keep your hands clean, because just like with the common cold, touching a surface or a person who has COVID-19 and then touching around your own nose or mouth will transmit the disease as well. Finally, a really important thing that you can do that we didn't know worked just a few weeks ago. We didn't have the scientific proof that it worked a few weeks ago. And that is wear a mask. Wear a covering over your nose and mouth, and encourage others who are around you to do so as well. It's much more effective if everyone is wearing a mask than just one person.
Great advice, Dr. Dobbs. We know that social distancing, as you mentioned, and wearing protective facial coverings have proven to be effective in lowering our risk, as you just said. But is there a right or wrong way? Would you be so kind to demonstrate how to properly wear one?
So here, what you have is kind of your basic industrial mask, like someone might wear if they were cleaning something and they just wanted to avoid some minor fumes. Right up here, in this flexible kind of metallic band that's under the surface of the fabric is where your nose should go. And these loops are for the ears. So I'm just going to put it on. Can you still hear me okay?
I can.
probably muffles my voice a little bit. I'm just going to open it a little bit here so that you can hear me better. First, this mask is comfortable. If it's comfortable, you probably won't wear it for very long because it's just unpleasant. Let's see. Here's another one. This is a common one like you might see in a hospital. Same principle, same band. You can wear these several times. Here's one that was made for us that's just a little bit more fashionable, kind of a sensible, plain navy blue here. You know, it'd go well with a shirt like I'm wearing. My wife had this one made and sent to us in the mail. What I will say is that this one is just a little bit uncomfortable for me. It's not quite as big as I would like, and it pulls on my ears. Here's my favorite kind of mask. You know, you can get all kinds of fabrics and fashion statements, I suppose.
Sure.
This one is where I work, right here at UTRGV. This is your typical classic surgical style adjustable mask that you tie. The really nice thing about this one is that you can make it as comfortable as you want by just how tight you make the bands. I'll just mention one thing that is important to me. As you can maybe tell, maybe the members of the audience can tell as I'm talking, it's fogging up my glasses. So it makes it a little difficult for me to see. You can mitigate that by just putting it a little higher on your nose, putting the glasses over it, and then you avoid that fogginess. Just one more.
Yes.
This is the N95 respirator mask. This is the one that actually makes a seal around your face and really lets practically nothing through it. It's the one that if someone were in the room with you with COVID-19 and were actually coughing and breathing, would probably protect you. Problem with these masks are, and I'm not even going to put the whole thing on. The problem with these masks are that they're really uncomfortable. Really, really uncomfortable. So you put it on, get a seal. I can't really quite fully get a seal because of my facial hair. And this really will protect you from the virus particles in the air. But to wear one for a long time is difficult. And if you're not really trained in its use, what you will do is you'll forget and you'll kind of adjust it. And when you adjust it just a little bit, it opens it up and lets things through. So you just had what's called a breach in protocol. And you have a risk of actually getting virus particles through there. Oh, one more. Kids mask.
Okay, that's an important one.
Belongs to my daughter. It has a nice print of kittens on it.
Very cute. Well, we appreciate you demonstrating. I think that's important because right now it has been mandated and we need to be prepared. There are so many out there. There are a variety of them, but we need to be prepared because anytime we enter a place of business, we should be wearing one for our protection. I want to talk about antibodies. A lot of confusion, Dr. Dobbs, surrounding, those who have been tested positive for coronavirus, if they have the antibodies, and if you develop an immunity to the virus. A lot of confusion. Can you help clear up any confusion for us?
Have you had, not to be too personal, did you have chicken pox when you were a child, perhaps?
I did, and I have a nice scar to back that up.
Yeah, I had chicken pox too. There's a vaccine for it now, so kids don't have to go through what we went through with chicken pox. But the way that diseases like chicken pox and like COVID-19 work is that they're viruses that get into our bodies. And the first time that they get into our body, our immune system isn't really ready for them. It's sort of like they're undercover. They've never seen them before. They don't know that they're dangerous. Our immune system kind of leaves them alone. They get into our cells and destroy our cells, wreak havoc throughout the body and cause pretty substantial disease. Then the next time that virus shows up, provided that your immune system remembers, it has some things called antibodies ready. You could almost think of it like your security forces. They have a picture of the virus. They see it showing up for the first time and they are shaped kind of like a fork. They grab onto it, more grab on. And then other big cells, you could almost think of like police squad cars come and engulf the virus and just take it away before it has time to cause any trouble. Here's the thing though, we don't fully know what immunity looks like to this disease because it just hasn't been around that long. You probably are immune to it after you get it, at least for a while. In which case, that would make it harder to make a vaccine, but it still very much could be done.
We keep hearing, Dr. Dobbs, that we may be seeing some by year's end, and I was going to ask you if how soon we would receive those vaccines here on a local level, and as you were explaining, how effective do you believe they will be?
Well, if we get a vaccine by the end of the year, I would expect that there will be tens of millions of doses, maybe even more, enough really for everyone who wants to get the vaccine to be able to get it. No doubt there will be shortages in certain areas, but I would hope that we would have access to it here. I mean, we have a lot of people here and a big need for it. The question of how effective it will be, educated guess, it'll probably be about as effective as the flu vaccine. So it might not prevent every case, but it's likely to be, I'm just pulling this number out of the air, 75%, 80% effective. It is likely also that if you get COVID-19 after taking the vaccine, that it won't be as bad of a disease as it would have been had you not had the vaccine.
I know that you all have a webpage dedicated to answering many of those questions. Can we direct our Socialife audience to that page?
I couldn't quote all the letters and numbers that are in the web address, but if you go to utrgv.edu, you can go to the UT Health page from there and get to our medical site for helping people to get plugged in for testing and treatment and stuff like that. Or you can also go from the utrgv.edu main site to our general COVID-19 informational page. A lot of that has to do with things that are happening around the university, but it's useful for the public as well.
You know, you have become a very popular site for COVID testing. I know you were prepared early on campus. How is that going?
Well, it's something that I'm very proud of and that the university is very proud of. I don't know if you knew this, but we really didn't have any serious capability of doing laboratory testing for much of anything other than a few tests in our clinics. And just in the space of a few short weeks, we stood up a certified clinical laboratory with our main test being PCR testing, which means looking for the viral genetic material like RNA, DNA, to be able to detect it. The test we use is very, very effective. It's managed by a world-class virologist, a guy who studies viruses. His name is Dr. John Thomas. And we have tested more than 20,000 people. About half of those have been for the state of Texas from across the state. And the other half have been people right here in the Rio Grande Valley region. Every day during the week, we run multiple test sites across the valley from Brownsville up to Edinburgh. And we individually swab a couple hundred people each day. Plus we also take on tests from private doctors' offices, from hospitals, from first responders like EMS and Border Patrol, and we're just really trying to meet the need of the valley.
Quite a time for us, to say the very least, Dr. Dobbs. I know that you call our beautiful valley your home now. You are specializing in neurology. You lead clinical strategy there at UTRGV School of Medicine. I know that you received distinguished honors as you served in the U.S. Air Force, to name a few of your accomplishments. You're a professor and you're guiding our future doctors. What has this time meant to you personally? What has this time, how has it affected you on a personal level, Dr. Dobbs?
One thing is very personally, I really appreciate small things in life much more than I did before this started. Just being able to go out to a restaurant with some friends, or even go to someone's house, take a little vacation to go see my elderly mother up in Kentucky, or something like that. All these things that I haven't really been able to do for the last several weeks. Some of the other things, if you look on the positive side, I've probably met a lot more people, but mostly virtually like this, than I would have otherwise. So I've really come to know a lot of great people here in the Valley through working together on combating this illness. And also as a father, I've been able to spend a lot more time at home with my children, because my job in managing healthcare puts me working a lot from home.
Well, we have to say on behalf of the Socialife family, we are thankful for you and your commitment to serve. You are putting your safety at risk to help others, and we're grateful. And on that note, I would love to toast to your commitment and to your service. We are extremely grateful for you.
Very kind. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Salud. And coming right up, we are going to tell you how you can provide a loving home for children who need it the most. Don't go away.
At North Park Lexus RGV, we embrace posted pricing. It's our approach to transparent pricing and making what the car buying experience is supposed to be, fun. We value the guest experience. Whether you're looking at a brand new Lexus or a pre-owned vehicle, we invite you out to see what it's all about. Visit us in person or online at nplexusrgv.com. Come see what posted pricing is all about.
You've waited long enough. Now let us wait on you at the Santa Fe Steakhouse and Cantina. Experience an enchanting escape where our creative chefs, attentive staff, 600 wine selection, delicious cocktails, and live music, award-winning steak and seafood are all designed for a very special guest. You. Claim your steak at the Santa Fe Steakhouse and Cantina in McAllen.
Need help after COVID-19? Get support and answers on financial assistance, utility hardship assistance, state and federal funding, workplace safety planning, and more. Free for Pharr residents and business owners only. Call 402-4311 to set up your appointment today.
Offering love and hope. It's what our friends at CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, is hoping to provide children whose lives are being threatened during this crisis. We would like to welcome our friend, Executive Director of CASA, Ms. Veronica Whitaker, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. Thanks. And you?
We are doing well and better, knowing that we're helping you and make people more aware of the cause. We find that the numbers are going up with respect to another crisis. Children who are being neglected, abused here locally, and these are the children that you service. These are the children that you're hoping to provide loving and safe homes for. How can we as a community come together and help?
I appreciate it. It's an honor to be with you all this afternoon. And I am the Executive Director of CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. And what we do is we look for the ordinary person to become the extraordinary person. And that extraordinary person does 3 trainings with us, and then is certified as an advocate. And those advocates are the ones that go out into the field, and they're ones that actually are the voice for the children in the system. And so I know, and actually in the last 3 or 4 months, our numbers of advocates have grown. Of course, our number with the children is spiked quite a bit. And so it's not a good thing that we have more advocates, because it's a bad thing that we have more children at this point. And so, there's always a need to help these children out. The biggest need a lot of the times is when these children are taken in the middle of the night from their homes because either their grandmother or somebody reported, the situation that she just couldn't take it anymore. So they come up, 11 o'clock at night, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't know the hours that they pick them up. These children, and their only memory for the rest of their life is the fact that they put their stuff in a black trash bag. And so we are always looking for just, a cute little suitcase or a backpack, something that these children have that really means something to them instead of a black trash bag. To me, it's just tough to know that they've got to stuff everything in a black trash bag, be put in the back seat of a car and driven away, and they have no idea where they're going. So as long as maybe they have something that means something to them, the teddy bear or the really cute backpack or the suitcase, something that belongs to them that they're actually going to be able to take with them, other than the black trash bag. So, that's just a little something that will go a long way for our children. Other things that these kids, a blanket, there's just things that they want, that they have treasured for many, many years, that they've had with them, that they are able to pick up suddenly and take them with them. So those are the small things. We get, we have gift cards all the time that people bring us. As a matter of fact, right now, we just, are going to give a gift card to one of the advocates to help one of our kids that just graduated from high school, is going to go into a shelter for about a month, can't get into the shelter without a proper ID. So we're going to take him to get a proper ID, set him up, get everything going for him. So those are just day-to-day situations that we deal with every single day. So gift cards are very, very important. Backpacks, pretty suitcases, all those things that, the kids have something that is theirs.
It's heartbreaking, Ms. Whitaker, to think that anyone would want to harm a child. I can't imagine. Right. And who is a good candidate? Who are you looking for to advocate, to foster, maybe provide even a permanent home for these children?
And that's what we do. So once that the court system, CPS, the court system, calls us up and says, okay, I have 3 kids that need to be taken care of. They're going to go to court in a year. The mother was arrested last night. The father is in Mexico. So we need to place these children in the next couple of days, make sure that they're somewhere where we can, follow them. And then your advocates can then start working on who are they, what do they like, who's their doctor, visit with a teacher, visit with their loved ones, find out exactly what has happened to them in the last, maybe the last couple of weeks, last couple of years. And so that is all it's the ongoing process before the children go to the courts. Once they go to the court, the advocate, who is their volunteer that helps us throughout the entire process, is then the voice for these children or child during the court, while they're in court. And at that point, that's what our whole goal is, to find a permanent, safe home for these children. And a lot of times, it could be the grandmother, or it could actually be the next door neighbor, or somebody that, sometimes just somebody else that has seen them go through, what they've gone through because they lived across the street. It doesn't matter. But as long as they're safe with these people, feel safe and feel at home with them, then that's our goal.
If someone is not prepared to open up their home to these children, the children whom you serve, how else may they support CASA?
Right. Well, they could be the voice. If they don't want to take them home, that's fine. Yes. But if they have the time to visit, like I said, the teachers, or take them to a doctor's appointment, or take them to the eye doctor, whatever it is, if they have the time to be the advocate, we welcome those advocates. We welcome those to come over here and help us out, to learn all about it and to be their voice. And they do get close to the children, but it's a good close, because children feel, okay, this person's going to help me get to my next step. When
should one call to get more involved with CASA, Ms. Whitaker?
Well, we're here in Edinburgh. Our address is 1001 South 10th Avenue in Edinburgh, and our phone number is 956-381-0346. And we're always, even right now while we're on COVID-19, you can call, and either if we're not in the office, it'll automatically ask you to go to our volunteer advocate supervisor. And that person is Bianca Lopez, and Bianca is the one who does all the training. She's the one that sets up the interview. She's the one that gets you going. And of course, all of our advocates, everyone who has anything to do with the children, of course, have to pass a background check and a fingerprint check. So those are the two most important things they have to do before they even are admitted into our office or even to visit with the children.
There's a process that one must go through, and we understand that.
Yes, there is. There's a questionnaire, there's an interview, and the background check, and the fingerprint check. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you again for the work that you do, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. And just so that people are aware, maybe this will help, we have our advocates. We are up to 78 advocates right now presently at CASA, but our children's count has gone from 115 in March, and we're at 161 today. So that's not good news. But we do have enough advocates to take care of most of them. And so we always welcome an advocate every single day. And even if it's just for 6 months, or I can do this but can't do that, we're always here we open our arms and are here for them to help us.
There is a great need. And we hope that we are able to offer CASA some support. Thank you so much.
Appreciate being here today, and thank you guys. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Coming up, the roll believed to have started the sushi movement. Our friends at Kumori are going to show us how to make a California roll. Don't go away.
This is a generation-defining moment. And like every such moment, we will be defined not by the challenge itself, but by what we do now. During this unprecedented time, know that we at UT Health RGV will always be here to serve the entire Rio Grande Valley. To our students, our staff, and our faculty who are rallying together like never before to supply much needed equipment, we thank you truly. To our doctors, nurses, and staff on the front lines, thank you for being our caregivers today and every day. We are all relying on you, and our loved ones' lives are in your hands. Thank you for your personal sacrifices and for bringing all your training, knowledge, and compassion to this moment, to save lives, to keep us safe, and to preserve our community.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are our heroes.
So for this, it's you need just basic things like the makisu is what we're gonna use to make the roll. We need the rice, we need a sharp knife. For the California roll, we're gonna use cucumber, it's like a crab, avocado, and sesame seeds. So first of all, we need the makisu and the rice. So for the rice, I'm gonna post the recipe. But basically it's cooked rice with vinegar, sushi vinegar, and salt. Make like a little bowl and take the nori seaweed. And the important thing here is how we spread the rice over the nori. So we're gonna put the rice over and just use our thumbs and the fingers to spread the rice. Don't put too much rice over the nori. Once it's done, we're gonna add the sesame seeds. Turn over the mat, and we're gonna start to adding our ingredients. We start with the crab. So we're gonna use one stick, cut in the middle to cover the whole mat. Add the avocado. Cucumber. And we're gonna roll it. Once you start rolling the roll, you just need to make some press with the mat. The mat always has two faces. One is to push and the other one is just to give a little more shape. So you don't need to push too much, just give some shape to the roll. Use your fingers to keep the roll at the same size. So as you can see, we already have the roll. We just need to put a little bit of water over the blade because the rice is sticky. So once you do that, just cut in half. Another half. Half. And half. And we already got the roll. As you can see, it's a very simple, it's easy to make. Just you need to use the right recipe for the rice. So now you got the California roll, it's ready to eat.
What a fresh way to kick off summer. Thank you to our friends at Kumori. We also want to thank Dr. Michael Dobbs, leading expert at UTRGV School of Medicine, for his time, Executive Director of CASA, Ms. Veronica Whitaker, Sister Norma Pimentel for her words of inspiration, and Deutsch Deutsch. And especially you for your time. We can't wait to do it all over again. We leave you now with the art of socializing.